Hello, friends. Have you ever thought that some people wake up every morning without hitting snooze, work out, stay focused on their work, and slowly turn every goal of their life into reality? While some people, even after trying again and again, are still not able to stay stable? Have you ever asked yourself this question? Why am I not becoming disciplined? Why is Monday motivation strong, but by Wednesday everything becomes dull? Why do I keep breaking my own rules every time? Maybe you have also felt that deep inside you want to do something big, you want to change something, but some invisible force pulls you back into the comfort zone from where you want to escape. Now think, if discipline is not a talent, if it is not something God gifted, then how do some people stay consistent? How do they stay focused despite distractions? How do they turn small daily steps into big dreams without failing? Do they have a secret? Actually, these people are not from another planet. They don't have any magical power. They have just understood a simple truth. Discipline is not about control, it is about freedom. Surprised? It always feels like discipline is a cage, a restriction, but the truth is, it is the key that unlocks the life we truly deserve. Discipline means a promise you make to yourself and keep every day, whether you feel like it or not. Discipline is the power that takes you to the version of yourself that currently exists only in your imagination. In this video, we will talk about that journey, the journey of a person who kept failing again and again, but then built a system and slowly became the person he always wanted to be. We will talk about those invisible habits that go unnoticed in daily life, but from them comes the power that can change your entire life. In this video, you will learn how discipline is built, how it is maintained, and how it can be turned into an identity that never fades. So if you keep starting and failing again and again, if there is a voice inside you saying, "Enough is enough, now something needs to change," then this video is not just a summary, it is a mirror that will show you what you can become if you allow discipline to enter your life. Get ready, because this is not just about a book. This can be the beginning of your new life. Chapter 1: The Power of Discipline. Have you ever noticed? Some people are not very talented, nor do they have many resources, but still they go far ahead in life, while some people who have everything, intelligence, talent, ideas, still remain stuck in one place. You might have also been confused about this. What is the difference? The difference is discipline. Discipline is a quiet force. It does not make noise, it does not create drama, but silently reshapes your entire life. People think success needs motivation and inspiration, but the truth is, motivation is like a wave. It comes and goes. Discipline is the anchor that keeps you stable in every storm. Think about it. Does any great musician practice every day only when they feel inspired? Does any athlete wake up energetic every morning? No, they do it because they have decided who they want to become. Discipline is not just hard work. Discipline is a choice to repeatedly choose the difficult but right path. Discipline is choosing to read a book at 11 p.m. instead of scrolling on your phone. Discipline is choosing uncomfortable steps instead of settling in a comfort zone. Discipline gives you what no shortcut can give you: skill, confidence, and freedom. Yes, you heard right, freedom. Because when you are disciplined, you become the master of yourself. Your feelings do not control you, you control them. You decide when to wake up, what to do, and in which direction to go. Discipline frees you from regrets caused by impulsive decisions. So, Chapter 1 teaches us a fundamental truth. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. It is the foundation on which every success is built. Without discipline, dreams remain just thoughts. But with discipline, every thought becomes a mission, and every mission becomes a result. Now ask yourself, Am I living like the person I want to become, or do I just wish and then return to my comfort zone again? If this answer is even slightly shaking you, understand that it is time to begin your discipline journey. Chapter 2: Breaking the Myth of Motivation. Have you ever thought why we make promises every new year to change our lives, but after a few months, the same old habits return? Why does our motivation level rise to the sky in the beginning, but as soon as a little difficulty comes, it slowly fades away? We have always heard that motivation is everything, but is that really true? Is motivation just a magical force that keeps us energized every day? Actually, motivation is just a feeling. When you feel motivated, it seems like the world is in your hands, but as we all know, this feeling does not last. The next day, when laziness takes over or a challenge appears, motivation disappears and we fall back into old habits. Does this mean we can never become successful? Does it mean we cannot transform our lives completely? No. Discipline is the key. Discipline is what pushes us forward even in tough times, when there is no trace of motivation. Discipline means doing your work every day without fail, whether you feel like it or not. It is the commitment you make to your goal and the trust you build in yourself that no matter what the situation is, you will continue your journey. If you walk on the path of motivation, one day motivation will end. But if you walk on the path of discipline, you will grow every single day, no matter what your feelings say. Have you ever noticed some people go to the gym every day even when they are tired or have excuses? Have you ever noticed some people study late at night without any motivation, simply following their routine? They are not chasing motivation, they are following habits they have built for success. Discipline is what keeps them consistent without failure. Now that you understand motivation is temporary, do you think it is necessary to search for inspiration every day? Do you think success depends on how often you feel motivated? If you always depend on motivation, you will always struggle. But if you make discipline your habit, you will never need to search for motivation again. You will have your own system that keeps you moving forward. In Chapter 2, we understand this clearly. Motivation is a feeling, but discipline is a habit. When you integrate discipline into your daily life, motivation becomes just a bonus that comes sometimes, not always. So next time when motivation disappears, tell yourself, it's okay, discipline will take care of it. Because the one who consistently follows discipline never loses. Chapter 3: Understanding your why. Have you ever experienced setting a goal with full excitement, starting with strong energy, but slowly everything fades away? At first, there is excitement, then excuses come in. At first, there is determination, then distractions take over, and you start thinking, why am I not able to do this? Actually, the problem is not your willpower. The problem is not even your intention. The problem is lack of clarity, the absence of a strong answer to the most important question in your life: why? You want to wake up early, but why? You want to stay consistent in study or work, but why? You want to become a better version of yourself, but why? Until the answer to your why is deeply rooted inside you, no discipline, no routine can last for long. Your why is the fuel that keeps you going when your energy level becomes zero. Your why is the anchor that keeps you grounded during storms. Now, think, if your why is only to impress others or compare yourself with someone, it will fade quickly. But if your why comes from within, from your pain, your dreams, your deepest desires, it will never die. Let's go deeper. Have you ever asked yourself, why do I want this? What am I running away from, and what am I running towards? Discipline feels like torture until you know what you are fighting for. A person who wakes up at 5 a.m. every day, even when tired, keeps pushing his limits even when alone. He does it not just because a book says so. He does it because there is a fire inside him, a reason, a why that does not allow him to stop. Chapter 3 teaches us that if you want discipline in your life, first you must be brutally honest with yourself. You have to uncover the real reason behind your goals. You have to feel the emotions you have been suppressing, the failures that still haunt you, the dreams you gave up because of people's fear, the version of yourself you still feel inside but cannot express. Discipline is not a mechanical thing. It is a deeply emotional journey that is only possible when you have clarity, and clarity comes only when your why is crystal clear. So today, do one thing. Take your notebook or open your phone notes and ask yourself, what is my why? Why do I want to start this journey? And when you get the answer, hold on to it. Read it every day. Put it on your screen, on your wall, deep inside your mind and soul. Because until your why is strong, your how will never become powerful. Chapter 3 gives a simple but life-changing truth. He who has a strong enough why can bear almost any how. Now, the question is not whether you can become disciplined. The question is, have you found your why? Chapter 4, The Science of Self-Control. Have you ever wondered that even when we know what we should do, study, finish work, eat healthy, stay away from the phone, we still don't do it? Have you ever caught yourself saying, just 5 minutes of Instagram, and suddenly 1 hour is gone? Or, today is cheat day, I'll start again tomorrow, and that tomorrow never comes? This is not just laziness. It is not just lack of willpower. This is the science of self-control connected to the deepest part of your brain. Our brain can be divided into two parts. One is the primitive brain that seeks instant gratification, comfort, and pleasure right now. The second is the prefrontal cortex, which thinks about the future, understands consequences, and helps us think long-term. The problem is that when you are tired, stressed, or bored, the primitive brain takes control. It says, just relax today, you have worked hard enough, and this is where self-sabotage begins. This is the moment where discipline and distraction fight, and most of the time we lose. Chapter 4 explains that self-control is not a magic trick, it is a muscle. Just like muscles are trained in the gym, your mind must also be trained through daily small decisions. Every time you resist a craving, every time you stop yourself from picking up your phone, every time you do the task your mind wants to avoid, you strengthen your self-control muscle. But if you always give in to temptation, that muscle becomes weaker and you fall into the same cycle again. Your environment also affects your self-control. If your room is messy, full of distractions, your phone is always near, notifications are always on, no matter how strong your willpower is, you will struggle, because your environment is silently draining your energy. So be smart. Build a system that supports your willpower. Remove distractions, create rituals, set reminders, and guide your brain in the right direction. Chapter 4 teaches us that motivation alone is not enough. We must understand our brain, accept its weaknesses, and work on them. Self-control is not a magic trick. It is a strategy. And when you understand this, you stop becoming a slave to situations and start becoming the master of yourself. Now think, are you losing to your impulses again and again? Are distractions pulling you every time? If yes, the solution is simple. Train your brain, strengthen your self-control, and build your environment to support your discipline. Because when your mind is under your control, your life is under your control. Chapter 5, Mastering the Morning. The alarm rings in the morning, your eyes slowly open. A voice from inside says, just 5 more minutes. You pull the blanket, turn to the other side, and once again, the victory of the morning turns into a loss. But have you ever thought, these 5 minutes are not just snoozing, they are a decision. Sometimes life suddenly stops. You work hard, stay disciplined, try to do everything right, and then a shock comes, something you never expected. You fall, your hopes break, and you start thinking, will I really be able to do this? What do you do when you fall? Because the truth is, no one can stay disciplined all the time. At some point, we all slip. One break becomes 2 days, then a week, and you fall back into the old loop. But this is where the real test begins. Do you get back up? Do you rebuild yourself again, or do you accept defeat? Resilience means staying strong, even when everything feels like it is falling apart. The biggest strength of discipline is not consistency, it is comebacks. Your greatest weapon is not a perfect routine, it is the ability to restart when everything goes wrong. Discipline and resilience go together, because when you fall, instead of drowning in guilt, you must tell yourself, this is not my last fall and not my last restart. In this world, those who win are not perfect people, but those who keep getting up again and again. Resilience is not an emotion, it is a skill. And every time you rise after failure, you activate a new strength within yourself. Just remember, falling is normal, but staying down is a choice. And when you start again, that first step always feels the heaviest. But once you rise and build momentum, your spirit wakes up again. Discipline is not about being perfect, it is about being persistent. It does not matter whether you fall once or 100 times. What matters is how many times you get back up. And the most important thing, every time you rise again, you become stronger than before. Your confidence grows, your self-respect returns, and one day you reach the version of yourself you once only dreamed of. So if today you feel defeated, if you feel broken, make one promise to yourself. I will start again, no matter how many times it takes. Because in the end, the winner is not the one who never falls, but the one who rises even after the final fall. Chapter 8. Sustaining Discipline for Life. You started discipline, built a routine, fought distractions, fell and got back up, but now the biggest question appears. Will this last? Can I live with clarity, focus, and commitment for my entire life? Discipline is not a 21-day challenge, it is a lifelong commitment. But this does not mean you must be perfect every day. It means you live intentionally every day, making choices aligned with your future identity. To sustain discipline, the first thing you need is purpose. If you have a strong why, the how becomes easy. Ask yourself, why do I want to become disciplined? Is it just for productivity or to become the version of myself I see inside? When your why is strong, discipline does not feel like pressure, it becomes your inner fire. To sustain discipline, self-compassion is also necessary. You must be kind to yourself, because some days you will be tired, you will pause. And in those moments, instead of punishing yourself, if you understand yourself, you can get back on track. Sustainable discipline means building systems that support your goals, routines, habits, and an environment that preserves your energy instead of draining it. Most importantly, you must turn discipline into identity. You stop saying, I'm trying to be disciplined, and start saying, I am disciplined. When you accept discipline as part of your personality, decision-making becomes easier. You stop acting from temporary emotions and start acting from permanent identity. Life is not linear. There will be highs and lows, but with a long-term vision, short-term setbacks cannot shake you. Think like a marathon runner. You don't need to run fast, you need to keep running. A little progress every day, a small improvement every day, and slowly you build a legacy you can be proud of. Finally, discipline is not a destination, it is a lifelong journey. And if you are ready to walk this journey, no goal, no dream, no vision is too far. Because the day you decide to live with discipline, from that very day, your life starts moving on a new path where progress becomes a habit and excellence becomes your nature. So friends, now that we have reached the final turn of this journey, one question remains: what will you do now? You have learned how discipline starts in the morning, how the courage to say no is important, how resilience teaches us to rise again after falling, and how discipline is not a short-term fix, but a lifelong habit. But the truth is, these words will not change your life. Your routine, your identity, and your results will change only from one decision. Do you want to become the person who is only inspired, or the one who takes action after being inspired? Discipline is not glamorous, it is not flashy, it does not shine on Instagram. Discipline is what stays even when no one is watching. Discipline is what fights your tiredness every time. It struggles with every distraction and lifts you up again after every failure. And one day, when people see your success and celebrate your results, you will smile and think only one thing: I did what most people don't do, that is why I am where most people are not. So don't just learn from this book, start living it. From today, right now, start your day with a little more responsibility, keep small promises to yourself, remove distractions, and stay focused on direction. Because remember, discipline is not about controlling your life, it is about taking charge of it. If this video has moved something inside you, write in the comments, Day 1 starts today. And yes, for those who don't just want motivation but transformation, this video is just the beginning, because on the path of discipline, you don't defeat others, you defeat yourself, and a victory over yourself never loses. If this video touched you and reminded you of the version of yourself you may have forgotten, don't stop this journey here. Like this video because it is a small action that shows your journey has begun. Comment, I am disciplined, so you can publicly commit to yourself. And if you have not subscribed to the English audiobook channel yet, do it, because here you don't just get motivation, you get transformation. Every week we bring such books and ideas that can give your mindset, habits, and life a new direction. And remember, discipline is not a skill, it is your identity. See you in the next video with a new book, a new thought, and a new you. Thank you.